You tell me one athlete right now has been dominating the game for 16 years straight without a loss. Tell me one.
The post-fight review for Bad Blood. Loads of fights, some good, some bad. Ade, let's start with the main event, Derek Chisora and Tyson Fury.
That wasn't the main event. What main event? You mean
the main event?
Saunders, Chris Eubank Jr.
The main event.
Oh, you mean the last fight on the card?
Last fight on the card.
Okay, yeah. Well, half the people had left, which is a bit of a boo-hoo. Thoroughly disappointed in Chisora's performance. Look, we don't sit on the fence on this show. It's one thing we do not do. So let's say how it is. He lost every single round, and it was a bad performance. It was a very, very bad performance.
From the third round, and the way he was fighting, and even in the first round, he'd done Don Charles was talking to him, trying to motivate him, trying to get him going. He looked like he was overtrained, in a sense, whereas...
Good point, very good point.
He's in the best shape we've seen him physically, cosmetically, the way he looked, yeah? He was saying all the right things, he was confident going into the fight, but he had nothing on his punches, he had nothing in his movement, he looked slow.
Yeah.
I mean, those are signs of overtraining. We've been to this camp, we all heard the rumours about how much great shape he was in for the fight in July.
Yeah.
He ain't left gym.
Yeah,
he ain't left camp. So you're looking at maybe what, a 5 month, not defending him, but you look at a 5 month training camp or training for 5 months, he was overtrained. Problem
for him is that the same thing can be labelled about Tyson Fury.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Overtrained, exactly, because they had exactly the same break. The thing I didn't like really in the fight for Derek Chisora is that there wasn't a plan B. There wasn't even a plan A minus. It was literally just the same bob weave, but then he just lacked pure motivation. I think I asked you during the fight, we didn't watch it together, and I asked Ryan, what do you think? And Ryan said, lacked desire. Yeah. Just lacked pure desire.
So I tell you what, the thing of what I think that was more downhearted for the fight is that I didn't think Fury looked great either.
Yeah, no, he didn't either.
I didn't think Fury looked great either. For a young man of 25 years old, 6'9", professional boxer, I still don't get that part.
Yeah, that extra bit.
Yeah, I mean, he does. The credit to Tyson Fury.
Yeah,
he's got a good boxing IQ. Yeah, he moves well.
Yeah.
Tactically, he works out fights.
Yeah.
But his punch delivery and his overall discipline physically just doesn't look up to scratch.
Yeah.
His punches they look sloppy. You know what I'm trying to say? And it's not that he does. His accuracy and the way he puts them together is good. Yeah. But the punches are not snapping, ain't fast, ain't really. And I'm looking at like going forward. He ain't ready for Vladimir.
Oh. No chance. He's not ready for Vladimir's cousin. Look, the fact remains is a lot of people are saying, no, he's doing a job. I even tweeted, to be fair, and said he'd done a job. But boxing's a bit different than that. Boxing's very different. Boxing's not like football where you're signed to contracts and you get paid weekly. You're not on 150 grand a week. That money's not guaranteed. You've got to look good in this fight to sell the next fight. You've got to want promoters to think, we got to get that fight signed up. It's going to be a war. I looked at that fight yesterday and everyone else did, and people were booing after round 3 or 4. Do you know what I mean? If Chisora's there to get rid of him.
Yeah.
We all liked Mike Tyson in the 80s, not because he was a fantastic boxer, people, because he wasn't that good a boxer, and that was shown when he fought taller, bigger guys. But it's because he knocked people out. That's the heavyweight division. Finish your fights.
Yeah. Tyson Fury, he done a job. He done what he's supposed to do. Yeah. Against a fighter that's not really throwing, that's not really kind of standing in front of you, he done what he's supposed to do. So yes, he done the job, and it was relatively impressive in the sense where, like I said, he shut Chisora down. But if the guy's not throwing nothing back at you and doing much on you, that's what you're supposed to do.
Right. Before we quickly move on to the Billy Joe Chris Eubank, people, yes, you said you weren't that impressed with Fury. People, in since then, people said Chisora, where does he go? Should he retire? If you weren't that impressed with Fury, where does Chisora go? And what I mean by that, look, we've been to the camp. They're talking about Chisora being world level, elite level. Where does he go then? Because I mean, I look at him now and I feel like.
Okay.
You wouldn't put him in there with Joshua in that performance, would you? You wouldn't.
Coming into this fight, Chisora was on a good run.
Yeah.
And so you can't say he weren't. You can't say he weren't prepared for the fight. Whatever. He was coming up with a good run. I honestly think that he overtrained. That's the only excuse you can have for it. I mean, let's be honest. We watched him spar. Yeah.
Strong.
His sparring is 150 times better than what we saw in the ring.
Yeah.
So I'm literally if I'm being honest, I'm just taking it as he's overtraining. He was drained.
Too much focus on him looking like body beautiful, wasn't there? Like him, being the lightest he's ever been, and he's not built for speed. He's not David Haye. He's built for destruction.
So I would say he needs a soft build up, comeback fight. But I'm not going to throw him under the bridge right now. We've got to see what happens. I think it's, like I said, just what. There's been so many fighters in history of boxing that's overtrained and haven't performed on the night. You got to tick that box.
All right, move on. Next one.
Billy Joe Saunders, Chris Eubank Jr.
Let me just before you go, I just want to. All right, Walshy. All right, Mr. Boxing Fanatic. You won this battle, but it's a war. You don't win the war. You won this one.
I ate humble pie last night.
I ate a lot of humble pie, boy.
It was tasty.
Still got a bit of
But looking at it honestly and truly, it was a close fight. What this fight showed in this fight is that it wasn't that Eubank not Billy Joe won the fight defiantly. I thought it was a close fight, split decision. I thought it was warranted. Could have been right. I thought Billy Joe Saunders won. I tweeted after the fight, 7 rounds to 5.
I thought it was 6-6.
But I said depending on the first round. I said the first round was kind of nothing was in it, so it depends on you drew the first round. But what I noticed in that fight is that it was all about experience. Yeah, Billy Joe didn't outbox or beat up Eubank. If you look at the last 6 rounds, Eubank done a number on Billy Joe, but it was the experience that count. Eubank didn't have the belief in the first 4 rounds, 5 rounds of what was going on. Once he started to believe that he can land shots and do shots, he started to draw away. But Billy Joe Saunders' experience, being there with the high opposition, being there with smart opposition, he came up on the first round, and he made Eubank look amateurish at times in the first 4 rounds.
Yeah.
Tactically, Eubank got the fight wrong as well. He had no jab in the beginning, which is your most fundamental weapon. It's your key punch. You set up your punches from your jab. He was swinging punches in from long range, going for wide uppercuts from the outside. That's just all experience. You should never do that. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's where it came down to.
It did come down to that. Look, I predicted Eubank would win. I actually predicted, you're probably going to watch the video and cuss me later, I predicted Eubank could stop him. There were elements in that fight where I saw if Eubank's going to wake up today and say, Billy Joe didn't win the fight, I probably lost the fight. And I mean that, and there's no disrespect to any Billy Joe's fan, because Billy Joe done what he's supposed to do, ticked every box, performed the way he should do, won the first 6 rounds, and I think stole around, round 9, and that's what gave him the fight, I think, for it. But Eubank, if anyone was going to stop anyone in that fight, it was Eubank was going to stop Saunders. Saunders, I didn't think once looked like he hurt Eubank. Where in the fight, I think Eubank looked like he hurt Saunders to the body and to the head a few times. But he just didn't know when to when to do it.
I mean,
very amateurish.
I was sitting here with a couple of my friends watching the fight, and we were like, "This is terrible." No, I mean, like this fight is not going nowhere. He's going to get a one-sided decision, and then he finally woke up. And you're like, "This is what we were waiting for." The thing about this fight, what I think is a fair comment for this fight. Thanks to everyone to watch the preview video. Loads of views on the preview video, but I think the fight was literally in the middle of what everyone said. Everyone either had Billy Joe's going to dominate, and everyone said Billy or Eubank's going to dominate. It was actually right in the middle. It answered questions. One, is Eubank world class or European class? Yes, he is in that level. He's proved he's in that level.
Not world class.
Not world class, but he's the same class as Billy. I'm trying to say. 2, it showed Billy is what we said he is. Yeah, he is a talented fighter. He's got all the amateur, tough, all the experience. He's doing what he's supposed to do in the ring, and that will make him a very, very good fighter. They're both very, very comparative in terms of where they are right now. It's the experience that made a difference. What I will say as well is that I was very impressed with Billy Joe Saunders' post-fight interview as well. Very impressed. In the sense, whereas we've interviewed him, we spoke to him, we've seen him, and they had a lot of harsh words about what they're going to do to each other. Billy Joe was like very saying, Eubank's a good fighter, he's well. Once I win the world title, I'll give him a rematch, blah, blah, blah. He gave him credit. He gave Eubank credit.
Alright, move on.
Bradley Skeete versus Frankie Gavin. I think Bradley Skeete made a very good account of himself.
But he lost.
But he made a very good account of himself.
He did. But he lost, and I think that's the cruel sport that we're in. Look, the problem for Bradley Skeete, and I see, and it's not really a problem. Like, if Frankie Gavin now vacates the British, which I think he will do, then Bradley Skeete fights for the British. The thing, this fight wasn't about Bradley Skeete, man. What I mean by that is, I think I know now where Frankie Gavin's level is. I thought after the Bundu fight, I thought it was close, and I thought he's a European level fighter. Yeah. He's not. The 147 division is the hottest division in boxing. Yeah. That's his problem. The 147 division right now is stacked from 1 to 20. Yeah. any of the guys, I think between 1 and 20 beats him.
Frankie,
and I think I put Leonard Bundu in the top 15, top 16. So you see where I'm going in terms of the gap. I don't know if Frankie Gavin. I looked at him at the weigh and we looked at him. He looked really, really dehydrated. Yeah. So I don't know if that played a factor in it. I don't know if it's a factor that he played that he thought he could run through. Yeah. Bradley Skeete, like a lot of people did. Yeah. But for me, I was shocked by his performance. But again, like you say, I guess it makes Bradley Skeete's level up.
You got to look at Bradley Skeete where he's come from, and say that look. This guy was not in, again, similar to Chisora Gavin, he was not apparently in the league of Frankie Gavin. Yeah. He had some good fights, some good performances, but he fought no one of note and didn't have like a list of great performances coming into the fight. I think he was doing good, solid performances all the time. For him to come along and box comparatively with Frankie Gavin, have a close comparative fight into the middle rounds and anything, and then he boxed well. You got to give him credit for it. It shows that he is potentially a very, very good fighter. And taking into account this was his first fight stepping up. So yes, he lost, but he lost to a good fighter.
The thing about boxers, and that's what Bradley Skeete is that they don't rely, like we saw Chris Eubank Jr. on that one punch power. Yeah. They almost learn their craft because they have to. Mm-hmm. And the first 3 or 4 rounds, I thought, my God, Skeete could just run away with this. He was just outboxing him.
He was.
Credit to Frankie Gavin for being able to turn it around, put the pressure on, and kind of make it close. And then I think he maybe stole the last 2 rounds to get the decision. But Bradley Skeete will look at it, like you say, and take away from that performance and think, you know what? I'm there.
Yeah, he is there. I'm there. If you look at his record and look at his fights and everything, he's made huge leaps up in class and huge leaps up in ability in one fight. That's what he took away from the fight. This fight is not going to hurt him in his career. It's only going to elevate him and help him.
All right, very quickly, there's a couple other big fights on the card. Frank Buglioni fought Robinson. I think the guy's name was on the card. Frank Buglioni, obviously 168. Tough division in the war, but in this country it's even tougher. Like I said, Rocky Fielding. I'm not going to mention Carl for Tiguel de Gross, but Rocky Fielding, Callum Smith. Where does Frankie Gavin? I mean, where does Buglioni go? Because I'm seeing a guy that came in with a lot of drive, sells a lot of tickets. They say gets hit a hell of a lot. Yeah. And in this division, you can't get hit like that.
Robinson.
I looked at Robinson's KO record the other day, and it was. I think it was something like, I could be wrong, like 12%, 13%.
Robinson seemed very heavy on his feet. Didn't seem to move really fast or move really well. And when you've got someone like that who's very heavy on their feet and they're still catching you, there's definitely technical problems there. I said before when we spoke about Frank Buglioni before, I said that he gets caught because he throws too much combination and his punches are a little bit wide, and he's kind of tightened up a little bit, but he's still got other faults. He's not the complete package yet. He's a long way from the other guys.
How old is he? I have to check Buglioni. Buglioni, I think he could be about 28, 29, which...
He's a good little fighter.
Which is around the same age though as all those guys. That's the thing.
He's a long way from those guys right now. I wouldn't risk putting him in the ring.
Even with like a Rocky Fielding who's just below them. Definitely not a Callum Smith though. Definitely not.
No, not really yet.
Final one we're going to talk about very, very, very quickly. Mitchell Smith won the WBO European super featherweight title. I find it strange when someone had the English title. It's almost like you don't. It's almost like you're jumping. Yeah. You're kind of skipping away. But I love Mitchell Smith, by the way, though.
I was intrigued. I was on the phone and missed the last half of the fight, the last bit of the fight. Looked like a good performance. Yeah. Looked like a good performance. Again, talented. These are the fights you need to get to where you want to get to. Yeah. And when you get TV coverage as well, it only helps build a brand. I agree.
I've talked about Mitchell Smith a few times. To me, he has everything, and I don't mean like literally 10 out of 10 everything. I mean literally everything right now is about a 7 out of 10. That's how good I think this kid is. It's a case of just refining it, more fights. I think that was only his 11th or 12th fight. He's now put his name up there. When you win WO, obviously you go into their kind of ranking systems. So he's put his name up there. He might skip. He talks about he might skip British. Doesn't need to Commonwealth, all that European titles, and just go straight for the big boys. If he does, good luck. All right, there you go, guys. Bad Blood. Frank Warren's big card, sold out arena, XL. Did it live up to its hype? I mean, it came off the back of the Bellew card, so the idea was it was going to destroy it. I'm not sure it lived up to it. I think the Saunders Eubank fight did. Very disappointed in the Fury Chisora fight. Skeete Gavin was a good fight as well, but I feel like we were let down a bit in the main event.
I think it was a much better card than the matchroom card.
Oh, damn.
Much better card, much better fights, more competitive fights. Did it live up to the expectation? Because we thought BadBlood would have been fiery. I mean, if you want to be honest about it, if you look at the last 3 fights or 4 fights in the main card, you would have thought you got a knockout. Yeah. We didn't get a knockout, and I think that's what the card was missing. If we had one defiant knockout, we might have.
Does a corner stoppage mean a knockout?
Nah. No, like I said, I think everyone knew by like round 5, round 6 that they're possibly going to pull him out. You know what I mean? And I think it was in the 3rd round or 4th round. You already saw Chisora's eye was puffing, his cheekbone was already gone from there. And yeah.
Alright, look guys, leave your comments below. What do you think about the Bad Blood card? What do you think about the fighters on the card? Any of the fighters move forward? Eubank was the one who was all talking about what happens with Eubank. Does he move forward? Does he try and get a rematch if Billy Joe gets the win of Copper of Lee? Does he fight Billy Joe? Billy Joe said he will. Does he? I don't know. Leave your comments below. Email us at
boxtalk@hotmail.co.uk, and don't get to follow us on Twitter at BoxtalkUK. Guys, also don't forget to subscribe. Yes, you smashed through the 1,000 barrier, so we want what, 1,500 before December 31st. Stop. 1,500. Yeah. Guys.